Good morning, everybody. It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Not that great of a day today. Overcast skies. Looks like it might rain, but the sun's peeking through here and there. But it's warm. So anytime the weather is decent outside, I'm going to always bring this outside so that the lighting's better for the video. Thank you guys so much for the mega comments of yesterday's episode. I had over 650 views overnight. As you guys know, I usually upload here on the East Coast around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. You know, sometimes if I have a longer episode, it may take until 10 p.m. here to edit it, get everything ready to upload. So for you guys over on the West Coast or in the central United States, you'll probably get to see it around prime time. 100% of the comments in regards to what I should do about the engine was everybody said to rebuild that 17.5 to put it back on that Craftsman, which is of course the logical thing to do. Unfortunately, that could be 1 or 2 or 3 episodes right there just to get the engine rebuilt. You can't just rebuild the engine. Well, I guess you could, you know. But for me, it takes definitely more than 1 or 2 episodes to rebuild an engine, you know. I remember I took these 3 or 4 episodes to rebuild opposed twins, you know what I mean? But that was a very complicated one, you know. So if I had to just take the engine, flip it upside down, remove the sump cover, disconnect the connecting rod from the crankshaft, take the head off, remove the piston, verify that the piston is exactly the same as the one that I'm removing, put it back in. You know, maybe I could do that in 1 episode. We'll find out. But today's episode is going to be trying to get this engine running and staying running on its own. Which means that this gas tank, which I don't know the condition of this gas tank, right? Or the fuel lines, or the carburetor. I'll have to take this off and check out the condition of the carburetor. I might just try and take another carburetor and replace it to save time. But let's check out the condition of this first. I'm a happy camper today because I don't look at my stocks every day, but I look at it every few days. And it appears that one of my big holdings, which is Facebook, hit an all-time high of $2.37 a share on Tuesday because Facebook announced that they were going to go head-to-head with Amazon, and they opened up Facebook Shops. That's pretty exciting, which is the reason why Facebook jumped to its all-time high during coronavirus and in this economy, if you can believe it. So can you imagine what would happen if COVID went away, the economy opened up again, went back to what it was? Money! Anyway, so I'm going to get to work on getting the tools out to take this carburetor apart. We're going to check out what's in it. So here I've got you set up, ready for me to take that carburetor off. We're going to check out that gas tank too. As you guys saw yesterday in my bonus footage, I have that tire that Nick gave me. He had it in the garbage can. So I said, hey, are you throwing this out? He's like, yeah, I don't want it. So I took it. It's completely flat and Dunsky, right? As you saw from my bonus footage, I put ATF in it and bounced it around like this in time lapse. I went like this like 30 times. It was kind of cool. Anyway, ATF. I'm like 99% on this ATF in tires, man. There was only one Cub Cadet wheel that had dry rot cracks that were really bad that the ATF actually leaked out of the cracks. That's when you know it's not going to work. But 9 out of 10 tires that I put ATF in hold great. Really, what a fantastic thing to do. That ATF. The rest of the world knew about ATF in tires? Man, oh man. Put Slime and Fix-A-Flat out of business, man. We should buy stock in ATF companies. But that is if everybody knows about it. But apparently, only people that watch Mowers and Blowers know about it. Shh. Our little secret. So I absolutely love my setup now. As you guys know, my Radial Flyer little cart here has got most of my most used tools in here all the time, right? And this rolling little stool here, it's got tools underneath too. So look, I'm working on something, right? I need something. Boom, grab it. Boom, just like that. You know what I mean? Roll it back in, roll that back in. Easy peasy. So sorry about the background noise. My neighbor Kevin over there is doing his lawn. He's got a Echo backpack blower. Holy cow. So I looked in the gas tank over here, right? It looks like the petcock is completely blocked by debris. So even if you put gas in here, gas will not go in here. I just pulled this out, right? And I'll show you guys in a minute. This carburetor, the nozzle, the fuel nozzle, is completely packed with rust. So this carburetor is probably done. I'm going to remove the air filter base, which is a 5/16 over here. 5/16 screw over there. See there, if I put this there, it'll just get lost. I got a forest over here. 7/16 nuts to remove the air filter base. Oh, Toro has this side thing that comes out, so you can't even use that. I'll have to find a wrench. Nozzle filled with rust. This is going to be a bad carburetor for sure. As you guys saw from yesterday, we put go-go juice in here and jumped the solenoid. The solenoid's definitely bad, so we had to jump the solenoid just to crank the starter motor. And it turned over a couple puffs here and there, you know, so we know that it runs. Okay, here comes the cover off. Has a little vent thing, tube that it's hooked onto, which I can't see. There you go. All good parts. 5/16 wrench over here. Of course, I don't have it handy. Oh, and by the way, when I was looking through my van for parts that day I broke down on the highway, I found a little bag full of these wrenches. These are the super thin ones. These could be very handy getting off fuel solenoids where the space is very little. These things are very handy, you know, the super thin wrenches. I don't know how strong these are, but as long as you get them, as long as you get your job done. Okay, I've got a 5/16 wrench. This has been on here for a while, so it's kind of difficult to do. I always meant to get some ratchet wrenches. Walter from Sewer Brothers, you know, the guy who did my asphalt and driveway, he actually bought me some, but they're the millimeter kind. So since I usually use mostly the 5/16, 7/16, 9/16, that kind of thing, those ratchet wrenches don't really work for me very much. Unless I'm working on a Kohler or a Honda. I'll show it to you. These here. These are from Harbor Freight Tools, Pittsburgh Flex Head Combo Wrench Set. They're ratchet kinds, which I like, you know. But I can't use the millimeter so much, you know. Not to mention the fact that these are kind of too big for most of the stuff that I need. I'll have to pick up some other ones, the fraction ones. I don't know what they call them. It would save me a lot of time. So there's these two studs that go all the way through. I've done this 1,000 times. You guys have seen me do it. You guys should be able to do it in your sleep. Break the seal off the gasket. Boom. Rotate it so that the choke thing comes out of the canal. Bend downwards for the choke linkage. Rotate this way. Pivot. Both the tension, the little tension wire comes out, as well as the throttle. This is an original Walboro LMT 4993. Most common. It's a shame too because these usually work very well. 7/16 nut. Oh, surprisingly, it actually turns. I'm expecting to find... Oh boy. Rusty, but it's okay. Even the gasket is okay. There's a nut gasket on there for the bowl. There we go. Ready? Put my finger here in case there's fluid. Oh, holy cow. Drier than the deserts of Nevada. Or like they say in Nevada, Nevada. Holy cow. Will this move? Or is the needle stuck in the hole? Ooh. It's stuck, but the bowl's still moving. Ooh, this thing comes right out. Wow. It came right out. The needle is... It's no longer rubbery. It's petrified. It's hard. I think I might have another needle, but I mean, there's no way I can... I don't know. Could I just get rid of this bowl? Because you can't fix this bowl. I mean, I guess you could, but it would take forever. Or I could just get another Walboro carburetor. Let me go look, because look. I want to show you guys. It's filled with rust in there. It'll take forever to fix this. I'm going to go look at my bin of parts. So I'm back. Look what I found in my bin of parts. An exact match. 4993 attached to the intake manifold already. I mean, it's dirty and stuff on the outside, but on the inside, it looks okay. And if you want to just test it real quick, look at the choke flap. Closes and bounces back. Good spring tension. This thing moves freely, and if you look through, you can see the butterfly opening and closing. It looks clean on the inside. And then the true test is you blow in here. You can blow. When you flip it upside down, you mimic the float closing the seat, and you should not be able to blow. And I cannot. I could take this off, right, and look, but sometimes when you do that, let's say this is perfectly working right now, the minute I take this off and break the gasket seal, it could be, you know, it could be compromised. You could rip the gasket and now it leaks when it wasn't going to leak before. So you know what? It's easy enough to take it off. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on. I don't know, I don't remember where I got it from. More than likely, Nick from Medford gave it to me. And this thing over here is cracked. So there's going to be some kind of a vacuum leak. I'm going to see if I have another one of these, but I'm not going to pull it off yet. And this also has the gasket here. Now look, would it be easier if I took this off and put that on? Or should I take this off and put this on? It's risky to take that off, because what if you bust the nut here? Bust the nut. What if you break the nut, the bolt in there? That's a whole world of hurt. You're going to need another head, you know? So I'm going to do that. You got to make the right choices, you know? Yes, it probably would have been easier if I just took that off, but you take a bigger risk when you do that. So decrease the risk. Do anything to not risk ruining the engine block, especially when you have a supposedly running engine. You know what I mean? I know you guys know what I mean. And I'm just going to try it, you know what I'm saying? After I put this on, I'm going to remove the gas tank. And when I remove... That was easy. Gasket is intact. So here we go. I'm gonna just put this on. I'm gonna! Tension spring through the little hole. Throttle linkage through the bigger hole. Choke linkage in the last hole. Down, up, turn, pivot, through the canal. Slide it in. Match up the holes. Stick the stud in. Stick the stud in. My kids, one is 18, finishing up his first year of college. Daughter is 14. They are on a health kick during this COVID thing. Cooking dinner every night. It's great. I haven't had fast food except for that one time McDonald's. But they went out running. I'm like, man, running? There's no way you'd ever get me to go out and expend energy for nothing. The exercise I have every day of wrenching is good enough for me. Hey, do I look fat to you? I'm not fat. You know why? Because I basically just eat one meal a day. Because when I wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, go do your usual business, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean. Come out here with a cup of coffee, get to work on the wrenching, and I'm not done until like 3 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I hold off until dinner, you know? So I have one meal a day. Maybe if I'm watching a movie late at night, I'll have a snack. Anyway. So what I got to do is, this fuel line is probably Dunsky, right? So now we got the new carburetor attached. Quote unquote new, you know what I mean? But it does seem clean on the inside, as well as air can flow through the fuel nozzle. So we know that if we put fuel to this, fuel is going to get into the carburetor bowl, up the emulsion tube, maybe. All the linkages are free, and they look pretty good, you know, considering it looks like hell on the outside. But what it looks like on the outside does not mean that the inside is not clean. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to move this fuel tank, because the fuel tank is not going to be able to sustain any fuel. Remember, I'm not going to change the... what am I trying to say here? Oh, the solenoid. We're just going to jump it, have this engine running and staying running. Then we know this engine is good to mount on another machine. Then if I have time for the remainder of the afternoon, I'm going to tear this. Tomorrow's garbage day, so I'm going to... Oh, by the way, I'm removing the tank now. I hope you guys can see. There we go. It's easy to remove the tank. 1 5/16 out of here, and instead of removing that one, just rotate this up. And this gas tank just comes right out, like they say in Canada. Oh. Hey, don't get me wrong, I know I always make fun of Canada, but I love Canada. I go vacationing there every year, skiing with my friend Andy from Jericho. Canada, people there are so nice. Not saying Americans aren't nice, but there are dicks in America too. Anyway, so there's a lot of stuff stuck in that petcock. So I don't think any fuel is going to leak through here. Can you guys see the black hole there? Okay, I'm going to hold it right there. I'm going to blow through this tube with my mouth. See if anything flies out. Ooh. Okay, well maybe it will work. I'm gonna blow this out a little. So what's unique about this gas tank is look at the size of the diameter of this hole. It's huge, right? Got this pick here. So, I mean, I could actually stick my hand in the hole with this pick. Put the pick into the petcock hole. Kind of grind it down and try to loosen up whatever is, because I see, even though I blow and it goes through, air blows through, right? I can see like rusty metal flakes sticking out from in it, you know? So I just want to loosen that up. Dump it out, and I can still hear that there's something in here. You know, I'll try to clean this as much as possible. Maybe we can get gas in here. As you guys saw yesterday with my mailbag, it was a mailbag in action. While I was working on something, we had a mailbag. Samuel Sandoval, subscriber Sam, sent me this gift. It's a 2.5 amp oscillating multi-tool. Grinding, sanding. He said I needed this when I sand the chips off of the rusted decks and stuff. This would really help me out, and it will. Thank you very much, Sam. Appreciate all the gifts that you send me, as well as the other subscribers contributing money, donating to the channel. Keep the videos coming every day. If you'd like to donate $1 or $2, paypal.me/mowersandblowers, or support the channel. Buy a sticker. Search eBay, mowers, blowers, sticker. OG kind, jagged edges, and the new version. They're only $3.99 each. Send it to you in a regular envelope. You can put it on your toolbox, your lawnmowers, whatever. Help support the channel. Help me out, get the name out, you know. More subscribers. More ads. If you guys wouldn't mind watching the ads in full if you can and not skip as much. Helps the revenue coming in. More revenue I get, the more activity I can have to sustain everyday videos, you know. I hope I'm entertaining every one of you guys during this COVID thing, you know. I watch my own videos at night on the big screen. It's very fun. What am I here for? Oh, right. Gonna blow this out. Hopefully one day soon I'll be able to use that oscillating tool that Sam got me. Remember, I'm just blowing this out so we can use this tank just to test. I'm not going to change this hose just yet because I'm not using a tank for anything. Remember, I'm stripping all this down. But we need the tank right now to put some fuel in and test and see if the carburetor works is all we want to do. All we want to do is have some fun. I've got a feeling you are the only one. All right, I'll give you guys a break. Throttle actually works really well, you know. See how this thing here, the choke, when it's ready to choke above this notch of full throttle, it pushes the linkage, the choke linkage, forward, closes the butterfly on the choke, and that chokes it. The minute you put it down about 3/4 of an inch to that notch, it opens at full throttle. And then when you lower the throttle all the way back down to idle, The idle moves this linkage on the throttle, and here's your idle screw here. You can adjust the idle screw to make sure it doesn't stall. So you can like back this out all the way, and when your engine's running, right, turn it clockwise, so then you have that nice idling sound, you know, maybe 1600 RPM. Is it 1600 RPM? It's usually like 700 RPM for cars, right? You guys know what I mean, as long as it doesn't stall. What am I doing now? We don't have to put the air cleaner on, but you know what? Are we like almost ready? Could we just put gas in here and see if it runs? I think we can. Bonus. I'm going to move all this stuff out of here because when it's running, it's going to vibrate and all that stuff's going to fall. Got some gas in here. I'm just going to dump the whole thing in there. Not much. Well, that's more than I thought. This gas tank is shaped on the bottom like a cone, so even a little bit of gas is going to be funneled, if you will, towards the hole that I just cleaned out. How much you want to bet it leaks? So far so good. There's no fuel shutoff on here, so it's not leaking yet. I look inside and it is indeed filled with fuel, at least an inch or two from the hole upwards, vertically. So we have plenty of fuel to try. Yesterday, as you guys remember, I had to pull the magneto wire out because it wouldn't start. Well, the reason why it wouldn't start was because I was jumping the solenoid. So you need the circuit to be open, such as the key. I had the key off, which is why it wouldn't start. So I'm going to reconnect the magneto thing so we can shut it off. My friend Robert Nighthawk told me that. He says, Henry, you did pull the magneto off so you can start the engine, but remember, you forgot to turn the key on. I says, oh yeah, thanks. So here we go. We're choking it. Now all I need is a... I was going to remove this. Old carburetor. Okay. This is the vent thing for, you know, I'm going to keep it off because it's just going to fall in. Alright, so look, we got the key on, and it you can hear it clicking, but the solenoid's bad, but it's still clicking, see? But we have power. Got fuel, hopefully it's going in. I'm going to crank it, jump it. Hello. Good Lord. Oh shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It won't stop. Holy cow. You know what happened, fellas? Now it's stuck. So you know what was happening, right? I'll tell you what was happening. So I just decided I was going to get on and see if it moved, right? So I don't know how long ago this thing moved. So I put the transmission into first gear and it started rolling, right? I couldn't get it out of gear, so it kept on running towards my car. So I had to shut the engine off. But how about it? How about it, man? And the ignition works. I mean, I shut it off, you know? Will it start again? Of course it won't start again. You know why? Solenoid's busted. Should we jump it again and see? Let's jump it again and see. Let's see if it's charging the battery. It's charging at 13 volts and rising. Perfect. That's fantastic. Man, oh man, that's maximum stokage again, man. Just changed that carburetor, started right up. Basically, all this thing, actually, if you think about it, all you really need is another solenoid, right? And to loosen up this steering, right? And then you have another tractor. But as you can see, this, the body is just trashed, you know? It's a shame, too, because it's a nice tractor, you know? Wheels all hold air. Not to mention I sold the hood yesterday for $75. You see, Larry, this is a message from my friend Larry and Bobby. Maybe not so much Bobby, but Larry went out to look at this. You had your van with you. It was empty, assumingly. You were there, right in front of it. Why not just take it? Could have got $75 for the hood right there, right? You could see you have a working engine that runs just great. You got 4 wheels that hold air. You got a seat with only 2 cracks. You could fix the seat. You just left money sitting on the curb, bro. What's up with that, bro? That's not the mentality of a small engine mechanic. Oh, that's right. Neither you nor I are mechanics. But that's not the mentality of a lawn tractor flipper. When you can get free parts, that's right, free parts, you take it. Otherwise, why bother leaving your house and going over there? If you're there, take it. And then give it to me. So we know the engine runs well, carburetor's fine, even the gas tank works, right? I'm going to remove this engine to prepare it for the next episode, which is installing this on the Yard Machines lawn tractor that I got for free. That's right, free, from my friend Nick from Medford. That will be the next episode. So I'm going to remove this engine, gas tank, and everything else I could pilfer off of this because tomorrow is garbage day. And because it's garbage day, I want them to take this frame. I believe tomorrow is a bulk day too, which means that anything bigger than your normal garbage, they'll take. My garbage guys around here, they take pretty much everything I throw out. I mean, you guys have seen the stuff that I've thrown out, you know. But this will take a while to basically tear down most of the things that I want to keep that I could probably resell on eBay. But the seat's not terrible, you know, so I'll keep the seat. I don't know about the steering wheel or anything. But as you also saw, the transmission seems to work. It just needs to be loosened up a bit.
took a while. It took so long that my battery died. So I got the wheels off. Yes, they are all dry rotted and cracked, but they all hold air. So I might sell that locally or keep them for something, whatever. There's the seat. The 2 quadrant control panels with the rubber on the other side. This is for the ground speed, which is his transmission, and that's the deck height. Seat springs. There's the carcass. I do not choose to keep anything else in here, but I stripped it all pretty well. It's pretty rusted. There were a lot of things that took me a while to get off, and you know, it took so long that I didn't even really want it anymore. But just for the fact of accomplishing to get it off became a quest for me. So even though I may not have wanted it, I just wanted to know if I could get it off. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. I have to remind myself to take that off. Steering wheel and steering column and solenoid I'm going to leave. And this is the reason why it wouldn't steer at all. There's not even any gears left. It's all just rusted into a blob, you know? It's pretty bad. Double stack pulley is unique because it has a huge spacer on the top. Tension arm pulley. It's the steering wheel middle center cap. That could be useful because people are always losing that, you know? Belt keepers. Front end spindles. Drag link and sway bar. Muffler guard. Battery box and the complete wiring harness, including ignition switch and key. Even though this transmission was a pain to get off, and the transmission pulley is kind of rusted, it works, and it has crisp clicks. Height adjustment lever and transmission ground speed lever. Transmission mounting brackets and the spring. And that's about it, honestly. So I'm gonna put this onto my dolly, and hopefully the garbage guys will take it tomorrow. Hopefully. And of course, the gas tank. So that's it. I'm beat. Tore down that Toro 12XL, 1238XL. Took all the parts that I needed. Gonna sell the smaller parts on eBay, list them. And then I kept the wheels, the seat, gas tank. And the success of the day was getting that 12 horsepower flathead Briggs single cylinder engine going. Runs great too, so I'm pretty happy, you know. We found that thing on the street. So far it's made me $75 for selling the hood. And if I could get an engine out of it to power that yard machines that I got from Nick from Medford, more power to me, you know. So great thing for me to go out that day to pick up that thing off the curb. I sure hope the garbage guys take it tomorrow because
That's the most I've left of a carcass. Usually I strip it all the way down, you know. I take the dash and everything. I mean, that dash is in pretty good shape. You know, the center console thing, the plastic thing. And I know some nut will need it someday. But being that the steering column was just fused and rusted so badly to the steering sector and the column and the steering wheel and all that, I just didn't really feel like taking it off, you know. So it's going to have to go with it. But pretty good day, you know, for us to get that engine running, and all we had to do is just replace the carburetor with an existing one that was just sitting in my drawer. You know, I don't remember where I got that carburetor from, but I didn't do anything to it. All I did was just put it on. Ran fantastic, you know. Instead of spending another half hour or so cleaning that existing carburetor, just took another LMT 490903 and put it on there, a Walbro carburetor. Worked great, you know, so that engine's ready to go. I put the engine on top of the... I just put it there on the yard machines frame. Looks like I might have to take the muffler off because it won't fit the way it is right now. I have to take the muffler off, so I don't know if the muffler is going to fit. We'll see what happens. But tomorrow we're going to install that 12 horsepower engine onto the yard machines. The back wheel of the yard machines is off its bead, so I don't know what I'm going to do about rolling it out here, or just maybe working in the garage or something like that, or maybe I have another yard machines MTD wheel. As you guys know, only MTD rear wheels fit MTD products. It has its own molded keyway in the wheel, so you can't use any other wheel for that. So we'll see what happens, but thanks a lot for joining me today, and we'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.